Hi, how are you? It might sound a bit weird. I'm in the car. It's raining, as you might be able to see, and so I had every intention of finding somewhere nice to go and film this and pull over somewhere and have something a little bit more exciting to look at, but here we are. I want to jump on really quickly, and I want to encourage us around a specific thought for this week for our midweek devotional. I want to think about and help us to think about the famine of function. The famine of function. I think there can be times and spaces in the way that we do the things that we do that just kind of dry us up, and we get so used to just doing things over and over and over and over again that we stop thinking about the things that we are doing, and then that doesn't create an opportunity for us to live in the fullness of the life that God has given us. And we don't see with eyes to see kingdom opportunity. We kind of have our eyes closed and we're just performing out of duty. And so our function can create a famine in our spirit, and we get a bit dry and a bit gnarly and a bit fed up. And I want to challenge some of that in us, and I want to encourage us that if you are feeling like that, if you're feeling a bit fed up and a bit over attached to function and not feeling kind of full of life and full of Jesus and full of hope and full of seeing kingdom opportunities, and there are some things that we can do about that. So I want to encourage us for this week to challenge some of those thoughts, some of those ideas, but also to feel excited that we don't have to stay stuck in this rhythm, this idea of it's function or bust, and that we can look for the Spirit of God to breathe life into us. That's really the kind of the long and the short of this, that the antidote to famine by function is the Spirit of God. That we need the Spirit of God. We need Holy Spirit, and we need to spend time with the Holy Spirit. And that might make sense to you, and you might have a language for that, and you might have patterns that feel familiar in your own life to help you do that, or that might be a brand new idea to you and you might not be sure what I'm talking about. So if you're not sure, how does that happen? Well, we ask the Spirit of God to be in us, and then we have confidence that the Spirit of God is in us through what we call the fruit of the Holy Spirit. Now, I know, again, I'm teaching Granny to suck eggs sometimes here, but it's helpful to be reminded of this stuff, even if we've heard it 100 times. And if this is the first time that we've heard this, then be encouraged that if you feel stifled and stuck in life, if you feel that you are just performing function out of duty, then the Spirit of God can be in you, and you will know that through the fruit of the Holy Spirit. We will have that conversation another day, but I want to give you some things that you can do this week to help you deal with the famine of function. If you don't feel like you are full of life, and you are drying up a little bit, and you are getting a little bit fed up with just doing things out of duty, here are some things that I think can help us to do that. First one, I touched on it a little bit last week, but I want us to look at our diary. Look at your commitments, what's in there, what you're doing that you don't need to be doing. Take out the things that you don't need to be doing. Now, I know that there are things that we don't like to do, but we have to do. I'm not saying to be reckless with those things. We can't just say, well, I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. That's not my point. There will be things in your diary that you do not have to do, but out of a sense of duty and the repetition of function, you'll have just stopped thinking about it, and they're in there and they happen and they steal time from you and God because you do them without thinking about them. So have a look at your diary, however that works, however you do that, and be deliberate about your use of time and make some space for you and God. That's really super important. One of the things that you can do that's going to be helpful for you is when you are out and about and in your day, in the repetition of function. Again, there are things that we have to do that we don't like, but there are things that we have to do. But in those moments, speak to the Spirit of God. One of the beautiful things about a relationship with the living God is that we don't have to wait for these moments or these prepared times where we can approach God, that God is available to us all of the time. And so in the repetition of function that is drying you up, speak to the Spirit of God. Ask God, where is the life in these moments? And if there isn't any, ask the Spirit of God to help you bring the life into those moments, that we are not left to just kind of fester or grow weary and dry up and disappear, but the Spirit of God is the Spirit of life and wants to bring life to the situations, the people, the places, and the things that we are involved in. So you need to look at your diary and you need to get rid of the things that you don't need to be doing. That doesn't necessarily mean the things that you don't want to be doing, but the things that maybe somebody else could be doing, or it's the right time for you to stop or hand over or look at, getting that space and that time back and using that time for you and God. And then the second thing, look for opportunities to engage with the Spirit of God and in the things that you are doing every single day. And if you don't know what that looks like, ask. Luke chapter 11 is going to help you, give you some principles for asking for the Spirit of God if you're not sure what that looks like. So check your diary, spend some time with the Holy Spirit, and if you don't know how to do that, read Luke chapter 11 and then apply that to your life. All right, go well. Look out for the famine of function in your life. We don't need it. Stop it. God is with you. God is for you. God is bringing life through you to other people. So you don't need to feel kind of dried up and fed up with function. We want to celebrate the work that God has given us, and we want to use it to see new life come. All right, go well. Have a great week. See you soon.